But here's the thing, now it's really up for debate because a lot of critics are coming forward saying chocolate milk, flavored milk has way too much sugar in it, has more than 15 grams per cup. So now they're saying that this is actually leading to childhood obesity, saying that it should actually be banned across all schools. Now, others are arguing, no, this is a good source of calcium and protein, saying that plain milk is rarely consumed at school cafeterias.
75% of children choose chocolate milk, right? And so, yes, that is an argument for keeping it in schools because, again, impoverished children in particular don't have access to healthy nutrition at home oftentimes. And we're talking 50 million children affected by school lunches and school breakfasts and healthy snacks.
Well, in other videos, we've discussed how much they want to take away from children. And I had said it in a post on Twitter one time, you know, kids used to play cowboys and Indians, and they used to play soldier and good guy, bad guy, cop, robber. Then they stopped playing that because they were told that it was bad to do that. Then there was dodgeball. You know, a lot of places don't let kids play dodgeball anymore. Because they said, oh, they get hurt. Kids get hurt all the time. You know, kids scrape their knee and all that. It's all growing up. In the 90s, they came out and took away Saturday morning cartoons from the kids. They said, no, you know, it's an advertisement thing that, you know, they're making money off the kids with these cartoons, and the cartoons are violent, da-da-da-da. You know, you did not need Senate subcommittee hearings on Saturday morning cartoons or laws to be instituted on how a channel should, what kind of programming that they should put out. That, oh, it should be more educational. It says there's enough education out there on broadcast television. And this was back in the 90s. You know, cable was still growing at the point, but, you know, PBS was everywhere. And there were other channels that offered education stuff for kids. Kids need to, how can we put this? They need to relax. They need to have some fun. Sit in front of a TV, eat some cereal, and watch some cartoons. And then they went after the video games, and they went after this, and they went after that. Now they're going after their education. There are kids out there that can't read, write, they don't know their civics, history. You know, this is a big problem in the United States. Now, here's a new thing that they're going after. And for many years, they've always criticized it. But many people says, no, this is an important thing that's part of a good, healthy diet. And that's the good old favorite of a good little container of chocolate milk. What's wrong with chocolate milk? It's an 8-ounce container for a young kid. Choice, you can have either regular milk or chocolate milk. Both healthy, you know, especially when you go into lunch. And then you're going to go out and play and burn it right on off. But they said, well, it's too much sugar in there, that kids eat too many sugary drinks and stuff like that. It's not the chocolate milk that's the problem. It's not that that's causing the obesity, that's causing a lot of weight. It's a lot of the processed food. It's a lot of the eating of, it's a lot parents going to fast food more often instead of cooking a balanced meal at home, or cooking something with a lot of processed material in there. You know, as much as people love mac and cheese on there, but mac and cheese out of a box, a lot of sodium in there, and depending on it, sometimes a lot of sugar as well. So the USDA wants to weigh a ban on chocolate milk. But before we get into this, I want to thank you for those of you who are here today clicking on this video, liking, sharing. Hopefully today is the day I earn your subscription on there. We're about 720 over. If you noticed, our video is a little light this week. We are taking a little time these 2 weeks to relax, to pose. We also had a death in the family, so we're just weighing in on all of our issues on there and taking a little time to just breathe, as they would say. But June, come back around June, and we will be back stronger than ever. So out of the New York Post, USDA weighs bans on chocolate milk in school cafeterias. School lunch could get a lot less sweet. U.S. officials are considering a ban on chocolate milk in elementary and middle school cafeterias due to its high sugary content. It's not as high, according to the Wall Street Journal. The proposed flavored milk moratorium, which was considered but abandoned by New York City Mayor Eric Adams. And I'll tell you this: Eric Adams is the one. He wants everyone to go vegan in New York. On that, remember that. Has been adopted by major cities like Washington, D.C., and San Francisco. Was the first to float by the feds earlier this year. Proponents of the ban say that the sugary beverages contribute to childhood obesity, which some 20% of the nation's kids are afflicted, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. A 2021 study published in the National Library of Medicine found that flavored skim milk was the leading source of added sugar in school meals. From a public health perspective, it makes a lot of sense to try to limit the servings of these flavored milks because they do not have quite a lot of sugar. Remember what they just said. They just threw themselves under a bus for that. They said a 2020 published 90 that was the leading source of added sugar in school meals. From a public health perspective, it makes a lot of sense to try to limit the service of these flavored milks because they do have quite a lot of sugar added. Now, the thing about it is, look to the perspective of how much sugar is in an 8-ounce serving. Now, if we look at a can of Coke, a 12-ounce can of Coke, okay? It's about 2 ounces, a couple ounces, 4 ounces higher than the 8-ounce chocolate milk. If you look at it on there, the total sugar on there is almost 40 grams of sugar. Now you look at a 8-ounce container of chocolate milk, and you'll find that it has 24 grams on there, 24 grams of sugar. And when you look at other sugary drinks, if you look at a 8-ounce glass of orange juice, which has natural, and we're talking ones with natural sugar in it, not ones that have processed that basically it's added more toward it. You're talking about similar to a glass of chocolate milk, the 8-ounce chocolate milk. It's 24 grams. And another thing that you look at is apple juice, which also natural sugar. And we're not talking ones that have added sugar. We're talking natural. You're talking about the same thing. 25 grams of sugar. It's a constant onto there. So we'll read a little bit more of this on here for you. Many districts of parents and dairy industries argue that chocolate milk delivers a whopping side of health benefits. We want to take the product that most kids like and has 9 essential nutrients in it and say you can't drink this. You have to drink it plain. Karen Wilson, Executive Director of Urban School Food Alliance, which represents 18 of the largest school districts in the county, asked, what are we trying to prove? Federal regulators were also conflicted, saying that they were torn between banning flavored milk or allowing options with no more than 10 grams of added sugar in each 8-ounce portion served. I'd like to know, what are they talking about on less than 10? You're going to be stripping out a lot of the nutrients. More than 90% of the school's milk process industry agreed last month to adhere to a new sugary standards. Flavored milk is a challenging issue to figure out exactly the best path forward, said Cindy Long, administrator of the United States Department of Agricultural, Food, and Nutritional Services. We really do encourage children to consume milk, and we also recognize the need to reduce added sugar consumption. Yes, we do need to on added sugar consumption. Now, the thing about it is that you look on most kids' trays, and I'm going to give you the little picture on here of this particular kid here, and we don't know what school this is, but he's got a little fruit here. You got a little fruit here. That's sugar right there. There's sugar right there. There's some sugar right here, and then you got a little bit of bread. Oh, there's sugar in there too, and some great chicky. Well, these are not nuggets. These are chicken strips. Chicken strips. It's breaded. There's sugar in that as well. So you have this whole plate. This is full of sugar on there. But see, the thing about it is that this kid will probably burn this off when he goes to the schoolyard. See, the thing about it is, and we have to push this back, and we have to push this, is the food pyramids. Exactly, the food pyramids. We need to go back. Because there are nutrients in a lot of this food. And kids are going to absorb this. People go off kilter on, what's good, what's bad. I mean, they said, well, meat is bad, but we're getting new research that says that we do need meat in our diet. Removing that will be very detrimental to our bodies. Yes, people do drink a lot of soda these days. I myself, the only thing I have these days is ginger ale on there. Everything else is like pomegranate juice, cranberry juice, cran-apple juice, natural on there. We tried to keep the sugar at a minimum, but also the sodium. See, and people don't look at the sodium levels. And that's an important part too as well, because the sodium will stick inside of you. And that's the one thing. A lot of these vegan foods that are being pushed out, Beyond Meats and stuff like that, that's all processed food with a lot of sodium in it. They say, oh, it's a healthier food. No, it's not. You're taking you're getting rid of one processed food and bringing on another type of processed food. It's still processed food. There used to be a time we used to put a nice salad in our kids' plates. When I was a kid, I used to have like a tomato soup with a cheese sandwich on there. Sometimes they used to give us pasta. Yes, they used to give us pizza. And it used to be just a standard cheese pizza light. Yeah, a little unhealthy, but still, kids burnt it off at the schoolyard later in the day. Kids need energy to get through the day. At this point, when they get to lunch, they're like, when they have a little bit to eat, they go out to the yard, get that energy going, get it out. Sugar is going to be in everything. You have to know the difference between natural and added sugar. Yes, chocolate milk, there is added sugar on there, but not as much as you think. A can of soda has more sugar in it than chocolate milk. I mean, you're going to get rid of the chocolate milk? Are you going to get rid of the orange juice, the apple juice, all of that on there? Are you going to get rid of the fruits that are on this tray, which has sugar as well? The bread, are you going to get rid of that? What are you going to feed kids? Bugs? I don't think so. Get off your high horses. Stop listening to all of these radicals that are in government, these activists and stuff like that, and get back to the basis. The old food pyramid. You remember the food pyramid? Yes, that's right. The old good food pyramid, where they tell you bread, cereal, rice, pasta, and group, you have 6 to 9 servings. 2 to 4 servings of your fruit group. Vegetable group, 3 to 5 servings. Milk, yogurt, cheese group, 2 to 3 servings. Meat, poultry, fish, dry beans, eggs, and nut group, 2 to 3 servings. Fat, oils, and sweets, use sparingly. Sparingly. These are the things that we were taught in school when we were kids. We need to bring it back. We need to bring it back. And when it comes to nutrition for the kids in school, you know, you're taking away all this. What's it going to end up? They're not going to eat the food that you're going to give them. They're not, you know, we've already seen this happen. We've seen this happen during when President Obama was in office, when they tried to change a lot of the food on there and change it to food that kids wouldn't eat at all. And what would happen? Food ended up just in the garbage. Let kids have the food that is supposed to be on their plates. Yes, let them have their chocolate milk. But they get a choice, chocolate milk, you know, or regular milk. Not every kid chooses the chocolate milk, but it's a nice little flavor. It's better than having a bag of chips or a candy at the end. But no matter what you put on that plate, somehow, some way, it's going to have either a high sodium count or a high sugar count, no matter what. So tell me in the comments below your thoughts about this. You know, do you have kids in the school system, and what do they have to eat? What does your school for your kids, what do they eat? Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share, and have a good holiday weekend. Enjoy yourselves if you're in the U.S., Memorial Day weekend. And we'll see you on the next video. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye.